Hello and welcome to Tuesday Get Active with Amy. I'm coming to you here from Max Physiotherapy in Clonakilty on a Tuesday morning. Today is going to be all about arms. So last week I spoke to you about breathing. The week before that I spoke to you about the importance of warmth and keeping the body warm, and I also spoke to you about the importance of footwear. So today we're going to add on another topic, and it's going to be why do we need our arms. So when we do our exercises, very often when we give people leg exercises, they can feel the benefit of them. But very often when we ask people to do arm exercises, they don't really feel that they're doing much. So one of the main things that we need our arms for is we need our arms for our balance. So if you think about it, if you're out walking, if you go to fall forward, the first thing you do is you reach your arms out to grab you. If you're walking on the footpath and you lose your balance sideways, you put your arms out to counterbalance and to balance you. If you go to fall back, the hands come up again to counterbalance, to bring you forward. So your arms are very, very important for your balance. What we know is, we know that when we do strength training, like what we're going to do today with exercises, we know that what that does is it increases the strength of our arms in our muscles. The second thing that it does is it works on the bone, and it works on the bone mass, which is how thick or how much bone there is, and it also works on bone density, so dense, how thick it is. So the fourth thing that we know that exercise does is it speeds up the neural pathways, so the nerves work faster and faster. So when you do go to need your arms for balance, your arms can work an awful lot faster because the nerve pathways are more excitable. So the four reasons why we do need the arms is for our muscle strength, for our bones, for our neural pathways, and for our balance. Okay, so the four things why we need our upper arm strength. So we also need our arms, of course, for picking up things and for reaching overhead. So what we find is that over time we stop putting things up in the line, we stop putting things up in the attic, so we stop putting our hands over our head, and because of that we can get quite stiff in our shoulders, we can get quite stiff in our arms. And also when we take our arms up over our head, what it does is it helps to expand our ribs, and it helps to keep our rib cage lovely and mobile, again coming all the way back to our breathing and coming all the way back to our chest. Now, two indicators, like when we're standing, and when I ask you to do the single leg stand, what we know is that when you're standing on one leg, that I can gauge how your aging process is going or how youthful you are by your single leg stand. When it comes to the arms, two things that can give us an idea of your overall age, if you're more down the youthful spectrum or if you're heading up the other way, is what we call grip strength, and we have something here to measure it. So how strong your grip strength is can often be an indicator of your overall health. So for your homework this week, the first thing I want you to do is when you're at the kitchen sink, I want you to just practice wringing out the J-cloth when you have it in the sink, squeezing the sponge that you have, or even getting a soft ball from the pound shop. So when you're or Deals or any of these places, so when you're sitting at home, you can just be squeezing it away in your hands. Think of all the things you grip: the cup, the hairbrush, the razor, the toothbrush, the coal bucket, the dog, when you have the dog on the lead. You need your grip strength for everything. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is very simply opening and closing the fingers. Okay, so open and close, very simple, and this is your first home exercise for the week, is working on your grip strength. Okay, now very good. Okay, so the second indicator that we know, depending on how youthful you are, is what we call your functional reach. So how far you reach is an indicator of how happy your body is with its arms. So when you're standing at home, if you have to get right beside something to pick it up, or if you could see something at the far side of the table and stand up and reach and pick it up without holding on, that's a very big indicator. So by strengthening up our arms and by working on our shoulders, we can increase what we call our functional reach, which is how far we can reach feeling comfortable. Okay, so I have weights again today, so if you want to use weights, do. If you'd feel happier not doing them, that's okay. You can use a tin of beans. So when you're ready, let's get started. So again, nothing should hurt, and it's all about the posture before you begin. So starting with the hands. So when you're ready, we have done our grip strength. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to just work on our dexterity and our neural pathways. So very simple, thumb to each finger, very simple, and you just do it over and over again. And what we're doing is we're getting these nerve pathways going that are going to work nice and fast. Good, well done. So it takes about 4 weeks. When we start to do an exercise program, it takes about 4 weeks before we see changes. So you should be starting to see some changes this week, starting to feel a little bit stronger and starting to feel a little bit steadier on your feet. Fantastic. Okay, when you're ready now, getting your weights if you have it, and if not, no problem. So your head is over your shoulders, your elbows are by your side, and your chest is open. Lovely. We're going to start off with our elbows by our side, palm up to the ceiling and palm down to the floor. Palm up to the ceiling and palm down to the floor. So keep it going there. So this movement is really important for brushing your teeth. It's important for pouring from a jug. This is also the movement that turns the key in the door. It's also a movement that turns door handles and doorknobs. So that's why it's a very important movement. The reason why we're adding weights is we know that weights increase the bone density and weights increase the bone mass. So if you do need your hands for balance, if you do happen to hit your hand off something, you have enough bone mass, so it's going to absorb the shock and not end up with you needing an x-ray. So that's why we use weights, and that's why we do weights with our wrists and with our elbows. So it's very, very important. The next one, palm facing the floor, the back of your hands up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Back of the hand up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Back of the hand up to the ceiling and down to the floor. And again, this is speeding up our neural pathways, and what it's also doing is it's building bone mass around the wrist, and it's building strength around the wrist, and it's also going to help us with our grip strength because we're holding onto the weights. When you're ready then, palms up to the ceiling, let the wrists fall back, and now bring the palms up towards your biceps and lower it down and up, and 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Onto your regular bicep curl. So hands by your side, head over your shoulders, your chest is nice and open, palm up towards your shoulders and down 1. So now we're starting to work on our elbows. We're starting to work further up the chain, but we're also, because we're holding the weight or your tin of beans, what you're also doing is you're also working on your grip strength, and you're also working on building your bone density. Lovely. As always, you can do these standing up if you find the sitting down too easy. That's absolutely no problem at all. Okay, and 3 more. Remember, coming up is easy, going down is hard. Coming up is easy, going down is hard. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Well done. Okay, here's a hard one for you. Hands out in front. Okay, your elbows stay where they are. I want you to bring your fingers out to the side and bring your fingers all the way in again. The hands don't move out to the side and in. Let's try it with no weights for some of you. Elbows by your side, fingers in front, fingers out to the side and fingers in. Fingers out to the side and in. No arm movement, your elbows stay by your side and in, and one more time each side, out and in. Let's turn the palms up to face the ceiling. Elbows staying by your side, your fingers point out, your fingers point in, your fingers point out, your fingers point in. Again, those of you who may have broken a wrist will find this is very hard, and you might find that one hand will go further than the other. It's really important to work at it and see if you can get them both going the same way. And one more time each side, all the way out and in. Fantastic. Right, those of you who have weights, pick them up again. If you don't, you can do this without weights, okay? So you're onto your triceps. So your triceps help us up and down off the chair and up and down off the bed. So head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, elbows pointing backwards, straightening the hands behind you and bending up the elbows again. Elbows back behind you, 2 and back, and 3 and back, and 4 and back, and 5 and back. Don't let the shoulders up, keep the shoulders down. 6, 7, and last one, 8 and back. Brilliant. Okay, hands down by your side, head over your shoulders. You're lengthened from the top of your head. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears, and now let them come all the way down. Good. And again, shoulders up towards your ears. Good. And now let them go all the way down. Good. And 3 more, up towards your ears. Good. And all the way down. And 2 more, up towards your ears and all the way down. Good. And last one, up towards your ears, and let them go all the way down. Very good. Keeping your elbows by your side now. I want your chest nice and open. I want your thumbs pointing forward. We're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, take your hands all the way up to 90 degrees and lower them down. So nothing should move above your shoulders. Imagine that you've got a skewer that's going through your shoulders here, so nothing is moving apart from the arm. So if you imagine that your chest is staying nice and open, when you do that, then the shoulders won't come up. So when we do this one, what we're doing is we are strengthening up the arms. First of all, we are increasing our neural pathways so the nerves fire faster, and what we're also doing is we're teaching the arms to be strong in this position, which if you do have a speed wobble, it's the position that you need to grab something, or even if you go to go sideways. So that this is why we strengthen in this position, so that you have strength to support yourself if you need it. And if you don't, you'll have lovely toned arms. So good, and 3 more. We lead up with the thumb. Good, and down, and 2 more, all the way up and down, and last one, all the way up and down. Super. Now when you're ready, again, leading with your head. If you don't need to use weights if you find this tiring, okay? Your shoulder must be open. If not, you might get a little sore shoulder, but remember, stop if it's sore. So when you're ready, breathe in, and as you breathe out to the side and in. We just go to about 45 degrees. Out to 45 degrees and in and out. And 3 more. 3, 2, and last one, all the way out and in. Good. Give your arms a bit of a wiggle. I need to give mine a bit of a wiggle after that, okay? The next one now, we come out to halfway between in front and sideways. So we're coming out at 45 degrees, and we're just coming out and down. And again, the shoulders are open, the head is over the shoulders, shoulders over hips, weight evenly on both sitting bones. So again, coming out and down, and 4 more, out and down, and 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, well done. Your arms are probably starting to get a little bit tired by this stage, okay? Now, those of you who are comfortable can do this standing up, and those of you for sit in the chair, that's fine too, okay? So I'm going to show it to you first with no weights. I want your arms nice and your shoulders nice and open. I want you to imagine that you're pulling something up towards your chest and lowering it down. So the elbows come out to the side and the elbows come back down. Good. The elbows come out to the side and down. So you're bringing them all the way up towards your collarbone, up and down. And if you have weights, you're going to be feeling it now, towards the collarbone and down. Keep the elbows open and the chest out, lifting up and down. Okay? Some of you might want to drop the weights for the next one, holding it at chest level, and we're going out to the side and in. So when you do it without weights, you get a really lovely stretch out across the chest and in. And 5. Those of you with weights, make sure the shoulders aren't coming up towards your ears. 4. That's it, keep the shoulders down. 3, 2, and last one, all the way out and in. Super. Take a rest. You're feeling that now in your arms. Okay, the next one. I want you, those of you standing up will find this easy. Sitting down, you might need to scooch to the edge of the chair. I'm imagining that I have a sword in my left pocket and that I am taking it out and bringing it up into the air, ready for battle, and then taking the sword and putting it back down into my pocket or scabbard. Okay, so again, pulling the sword out, my elbow comes first, and then the hand reaches up to the ceiling, and then I put the sword back into its holder and I push it down. And two more. Pull out with the elbow nice and strong up to the ceiling. Nothing should hurt. If it does, don't do an exercise if it doesn't, if it hurts. It's okay to feel nice muscular pain, but nothing else should hurt. Fantastic. Now putting it back in. Lovely. And last one. Elbow up to the ceiling and straighten the hand up. Bring the elbow back and putting it back in and rest. And let's change sides. Your left hand is at your right hip and you're taking the elbow out to the side and reach it up. The elbow is bent and you slide the sword back in. And again, leading with the elbow, stretching up, the sword comes back and it's pushed into the holster. And elbow to the side, reach up, bend the elbow, slide it down. 3 more times, elbow up, or maybe 2, and out. And in and slide it down. This is post-COVID disco dancing practice. It's a night fever moves, isn't it? And last one, out and in. Fantastic. And lower your weights. Let's give our shoulders a bit of a stretch after that. Okay, so 3 shoulders backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Okay, folding your arms in front with your head forward. Your head is totally forward. Don't move your head. And when you're ready, breathe in, and as you breathe out, your whole chest and shoulders goes around to the right. Keep looking at me, keep looking at the screen. Feel it between your shoulder blades and back. Head forward and moving your whole chest and shoulders around to the left and back. Head forward, chest and shoulders around to the right and back. And last time, head forward, around to the left and back. Now this time, keep your chest open, arms up to 90 degrees, keep the head forward, keep looking at me. You won't have much movement, just turn the chest around to the right and back to center. And around to the left and back to center. Good, keep the shoulders down, keep the head forward. It's a very big stretch, so we don't do many of them. Okay, and last one, keep the shoulders down, around to the left and back. Good. Hands in front, shoulders open, left hand stays in front. Breathe in. As you breathe out, watch the right hand as it comes all the way back behind you. Get a lovely stretch into the chest. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, the hand comes all the way back again. The other side, breathe in, and as you breathe out, watch your left hand as it goes all the way back behind you. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, the hand comes all the way back. Last time on the right, breathe in, and as you breathe out, the right hand goes all the way back behind you. Watch it as it goes back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, come all the way back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, the left hand goes all the way back behind you. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, the hand comes all the way back. Last time, breathe in, and as you breathe out, the right hand goes all the way back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, the hand comes back. Last time on the left to balance up. Breathe in, as you breathe out, the hand goes back. Get a lovely stretch, and all the way back, and lower the arms. Now 3 circles backwards before we move on, just to open up the chest. If in doubt, do shoulders backwards to open yourself up. Now 2 hands in front. Your right hand, your left hand is holding a bow. Your right hand is going to pull the arrow back behind you. Watch the hand as it goes back and then release it forward. Well, look at your left hand, pull back the arrow, pulling the elbow back and all the way forwards. Last time on the right, looking forward, really pull back through that left elbow. Watch that left elbow as it goes back. Good. And coming forward, and you will feel it between your shoulder blades, and the left arm pulling it back all the way back. Watch it as it goes back. Good. And let it release forward. Fantastic. Let's super all together. Okay, so when you're ready, breathe in, and as you breathe out, take your right hand all the way up to the ceiling. Feel your chest really stretch. Pull these ribs away from your hips. Breathe in at the top, and then as you breathe out, take the hand all the way down. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, take the hand up to the ceiling. It's okay to feel tightness. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, reaching up to the ceiling. Inhale at the top, and then as you exhale, let the hand come all the way down. Right hand out to the side, taking it all the way up if you can. Feel a lovely stretch on the right hand side of your chest. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, hold it there. Feel the stretch. Really reach your fingers for the ceiling and come all the way down. Left hand up to the ceiling, reach it up. Breathe in at the top, stretch all the way up. Inhale at the top. Feel a big stretch and exhale all the way down. Brilliant. Now when you're ready, I want you to put your right hand behind your head and very gently just stretch that right hand all the way back. Good. Feel it in the front of your chest and back. Left hand behind your head, pulling your elbow back. Feel a lovely stretch in the front. Beautiful. And back. Last time, right hand behind the head, pulling your right elbow back. Beautiful all together. Lovely. And last time on the other side, hand behind your head, pulling the elbow back. Lovely. Okay, hands in front of your face, elbows in line with your chest. Okay, imagine your elbows are a train on the track, and they are just staying by your side as they open up and come back. So it's like peekaboo, but your elbows go around the side of the chest, feel it between your shoulder blades, and come back. Two more. So they must be at your eye level. Look, watch my elbows peel around the side and coming in. I'm not having chicken arms. Okay, they are staying by my side as they open up. You feel a lovely stretch and all the way back. Lovely. Let's move on to our neck. Okay, so with your neck, just nice and tall, you're being lengthened to the top of your head, looking over your right shoulder, get a lovely stretch, and back to center. And looking over your left shoulder, lovely. It's okay to go to stretch and come back. Right ear, down to your right shoulder, and come back. And left ear, down towards your left shoulder, and come back. And you will feel a tightness, and it isn't the nicest thing when you're feeling it, but that's okay. Okay, so last one, very gently taking your right hand behind your back, and just very gently, if you can, just bringing your hands up. You will feel a tightness across the front of your shoulder. Again, this is a movement that we often lose as we get older. Good, and come back on the other side. Behind your back, see if you can, just tightness is okay, but pain isn't. If you have had shoulder problems, you might find this tight, and very gently trying to pull it up at the back. Lovely. And rest. Well done. That was nice and simple. Okay, so the thing to take home from this week is don't underestimate doing arm exercises. They are just as important for the legs. They are important for our balance, and they are very, very important for function, and they are very important for keeping our bone density up. So the one thing I want you to focus on now, your one take home message, is your grip strength. So getting a plastic ball or something that you have at home that you can be squeezing when you're sitting in the chair. When you are finished the wash up or whatever, spend some time wringing out a J-cloth, wringing out a dishcloth, and just keeping the grip strength strong and keeping your wrist strength strong. So the stronger our hands are, the stronger our wrists are, the better our balance is, and the better our functionality is. Okay, so on Thursday we're going to be looking at balance in an awful lot more detail, and the effect that walking has, the effect that balance has on our walking. So we'll be doing quite a lot of balance exercises on Thursday. Okay, so looking forward to seeing you then, and goodbye from Clonakilty.